Hello everyone, and welcome to the Vocabulary 1, Book 6, Unit 8, the final unit of the PYD. Hope you guys have been studying hard, and by now you should be getting ready for your final exam. And to help you with that, let's start off with the vocab. Let's begin. Adaptability. Adaptability. Noun, being able to adjust to new conditions. Adaptability, noun, being able to adjust to new conditions. For example, adaptability is an advantage for when an animal wants to avoid bigger, more dangerous animals. Again, adaptability is an advantage for when an animal wants to avoid bigger, more dangerous animals. Can we think of any other word forms of adaptability? That's right, we have another noun. We have adaption and adaption. For example, an adaption of chameleons is their ability to camouflage themselves. The noun an adaption of chameleons is their ability to camouflage themselves. Are there any other word forms we can think of? We have the verb adapt. Adapt. For example, how have you adapted during this year in the PYD? Have you changed your study habits, or have they adapted over time? Do we have another word form? Yes, we have the adjective adaptive. Adaptive. Are you adaptive? Are you able to adapt yourself to the changing environment? If you can, then you are adaptive, and you have the quality of being adaptability. Anxiety. Noun, the state of feeling nervous or worried that something bad will happen. Anxiety. Noun, the state of feeling nervous or worried that something bad will happen. For example, anxiety is a natural reaction to stressful environments. Anxiety is a natural reaction to stressful environments. Word forms? Are there any other word forms? That's right. Anxious, the adjective, anxious. For example, many students feel anxious while waiting for their exam results. Again, many students feel anxious while waiting for their exam results. Do we have any other word forms? Yes, the adverb anxiously. Anxiously. For example, the student refreshed the web browser anxiously to check for his exam results. The student anxiously refreshed the web browser to see if his exam results had come in. Capable of. Adjective, able to do something. Capable of, adjective, able to do something. For example, ants are capable of carrying many times their own body weight. Again, ants are capable of carrying many times their own body weight. Another example, what are you capable of? What can you do? What are you capable of? What can you do? What are you able to do? A compulsion. Noun, a strong desire to do something. A compulsion. Noun, a strong desire to do something. For example, this boy has a compulsion to jump over the fence. This boy has a compulsion to jump over the fence. Another example, the payment was made under compulsion. He had to do it. The payment was made under compulsion. He had to do it. What are the word forms for this? What other word forms do we have? That's right, we have the other noun, compulsiveness, the quality itself, compulsiveness. And the verb, what's the verb? Compel, compel. Adjective, compelling, compelling. And the adverb, compellingly, compellingly. So again, the word forms are a noun, compulsion and compulsiveness, the adjective compelling, the adverb compellingly, and the verb compel. And again, this is along the same lines, compulsive, adjective, uncontrollable. Compulsive, adjective, uncontrollable. This man has a compulsive eating disorder. This man in the picture has a compulsive eating disorder. And once more, what are the word forms that we just said in the previous slide? What are the two nouns? The noun was, on the previous slide, a compulsion. The other noun, compulsiveness. The verb, compel. The adverb, compellingly. And the adjective, compelling. Conscious. Adjective, to be aware. Conscious. Adjective, to be aware. For example, some people are very conscious about their appearance. Again, some people are very conscious about their appearance. Another example, now is a good time to be conscious of your health. Again, now is a good time to be conscious about your health. And do we have any other word forms? Right, we have the noun consciousness. Consciousness. The patient regained consciousness. They woke up. And the adverb? What's the adverb? Consciously. Consciously. Contemplation. Noun, the act of thinking about something in great detail. Contemplation. Noun, the act of thinking about something in great detail. For example, she is having a quiet moment of contemplation. This lady in the picture, she is having a quiet moment of self-contemplation. Are there any of the word forms? That's right, we have the verb contemplate. Contemplate. For example, sometimes it pays off to pause and contemplate life. Sometimes it pays off to pause and contemplate life, to think about life. Cooperation. Noun, working with other people. Cooperation. Noun, working with other people. For example, cooperation is important on a team. Cooperation is important on a team. What are the word forms? Right, we have the verb cooperate. Cooperate. For example, if you cooperate, things will be easy. If you don't cooperate, we'll have to go hard on you. Again, if you cooperate, things will be easy. If you don't cooperate, things will be hard. What are the two word forms are there? That's right, there's the adjective cooperative. Cooperative. I like working with him. He's very cooperative. And the adverb? What is the adverb? Cooperatively. Cooperatively. The word forms are cooperation, cooperate, the verb, the adjective cooperative, and the adverb cooperatively. Crave. Verb, to want very badly. Crave, verb, to want something very strongly. For example, in this picture, this man craves money. This man craves money. He has a strong desire for money. And what is the noun? A craving. A craving. For example, a more common craving is chocolate. While some people crave money, other people, they have a craving for chocolate. A dependency. Noun, a reliance. A dependency. Noun, a reliance. For example, many people have an unhealthy dependency on the internet. Again, many people have an unhealthy dependency on the internet. What word forms are there? Right, we have the verb depend. Depend. For example, too many people depend on the internet to find information. Again, the verb depend. Too many people depend on the internet to find information. And what are the other two word forms that we're focusing on this unit? That's right. Dependent. Dependent. Children are dependent on their parents. When they're young, children are dependent on their parents. And the adverb, what's the adverb? Dependently. Dependently. So again, altogether the word forms are a dependency, the verb depend, the adjective dependent, and the adverb dependently. Devices. Noun, tool or machines. Devices are a noun, and they are a tool or machine. For example, how many electronic devices do you have at home? Again, how many electric devices do you have at home? Another example, a ruler is a measuring device. A ruler is a device used for measuring. Diminish. Verb, to decrease. Diminish. Verb, to decrease. For example, the light from the sun diminishes as the moon rises. The light from the sun diminishes as the moon rises. And what is the adjective? That's right, diminishing. Diminishing. For example, that man has a diminishing hairline. His hair is receding. Again, the adjective diminishing. That man has a diminishing hairline. His hair is receding. And the adverb diminishingly. Diminishingly. So once more, the word forms are the verb diminish, the adjective diminishing, and the adverb diminishingly. Dysfunctional. Dysfunctional. Adjective, inability to work normally. Dysfunctional. Adjective, inability to work normally. For example, this team is dysfunctional. They are sleeping. This team is dysfunctional. They're sleeping when they should be working. Another example, the washing machine is dysfunctional. It doesn't work properly. The washing machine is dysfunctional. It doesn't work properly. And what are the two other word forms that we're looking at for this unit? That's right, the noun, dysfunctional, dysfunction, dysfunction. And the adverb, dysfunctionally, dysfunctionally. So once more, the word forms are dysfunctional, adjective, the adverb, dysfunctionally, and the noun, dysfunction. Ensure. Verb, to make certain that something happens. Ensure. Verb, to make certain that something happens. For example, it is the student's responsibility to ensure they are ready for class. It is the student's responsibility to ensure they are ready for class. Another example, also, students should ensure they come to class on time. Also, students should ensure they come to class on time. Escapist. Adjective, getting away from real life. Escapist. Adjective, getting away from real life. For example, watching movies is an escapist activity. Watching movies is an escapist activity. And what is the verb form? That's right, escape. Escape. For example, movies are an escape from daily life. Movies are an escape from daily life. And there are two noun forms that we're looking at this unit. What are they? That's right, an escape. An escape. And an escapist. An escapist. So what's more, the word forms are the nouns, an escape and an escapist, the verb escape, and the adjective escapist. A feature. Noun, an important, interesting, or typical part of something. A feature. Noun, an important, interesting, or typical part of something. For example, a prominent feature of this picture is the bridge across the river. A prominent feature of this picture is the bridge across the river. Another example, airbags in a car are standard safety features. Airbags in a car are standard safety features. What word forms are we also looking at? Yep, we have the verb feature, feature, and the adjective featured, featured. So once more, the word forms are the noun a feature, the verb feature, and the adjective featured. Go berserk. Verb, to become uncontrollably angry. Go berserk. Verb, to become uncontrollably angry. For example, this guy looks like he's about to go berserk. This guy looks like he's about to go berserk. Another example, try not to go berserk. Try to relax. Try not to go berserk. Try to relax. Go cold turkey. Verb, to suddenly stop an activity. Go cold turkey. Verb, to suddenly stop an activity. For example, going cold turkey to quit smoking is very hard. Going cold turkey to quit smoking is very hard. Another example, I'm sick of smoking. I'm going cold turkey and quitting. Once more, I'm sick of smoking. I'm going cold turkey and quitting. An influx. Noun, the arrival of large numbers of people or things. Influx is a noun, the arrival of large numbers of people or things. For example, in this picture, there's been an influx of refugees after the disaster. There was an influx of refugees after the natural disaster. Or another example, we need to prepare the hospital. There's been an influx of cases. We need to prepare the hospital. There's been an influx of flu cases. Initially. Initially. Adverb, at the beginning. Initially. Adverb, at the beginning. For example, initially, he thought that I was crazy. Not anymore. Initially, he thought the idea was crazy, but not anymore. Now he approves. And the adjective, what's the adjective? Initial. Initial. For example, our initial impression of him was favorable. Our initial impression of him was favorable. So once more, the word forms are the adverb initially and the adjective initial. Interactive. Interactive. Adjective, involving people working or talking together. Interactive. Adjective, involving people working or talking together. For example, the classroom smartboards are interactive. Classroom smartboards are interactive. And what are the other word forms? What's the verb? interact. The verb interact. For example, the people in this meeting are interacting. The people in this meeting are interacting. And what's the adverb? Interactively. Interactively. And the two nouns, an interaction, and second noun, interactivity. Interactivity. So once more, the word forms are the adjective, interactive, the verb, interact, the adverb interactively, the nouns, an interaction, and the second noun, interactivity. Keep an eye on. Verb, to pay very close attention to something. Keep an eye on. Verb, to pay very close attention to something. For example, keep an eye on him. I don't trust him. Again, keep an eye on him. I don't trust him. Second example, keep an eye on her condition. She's in critical care. Keep an eye on her condition. She's in critical care. Literally. Adverb, actually or exactly. Used for emphasis or to express strong feelings. Literally. Adverb, actually or exactly. Used for emphasis or to express strong feelings. For example, the driver took it literally when asked to go straight across the traffic. The driver took it literally when asked to go straight across the traffic. Second example, what's the adjective form literal? The adjective literal, for example, you shouldn't take this as a literal record of events. You shouldn't take this as a literal record of events. Lose contact with. Verb, to stop communicating with someone. Lose contact with. Verb, to stop communicating with someone. For example, I lost contact with some friends when my phone broke. I lost contact with some of my friends when my phone broke. Or another example, I lost contact with a friend because she moved countries. I lost contact with a friend because she moved to a different country. Moderate. Adjective, average in amount, intensity, quality, or degree. Moderate. Adjective, average in amount, intensity, quality, or degree. For example, there will be a moderate amount of rain tonight. There will be a moderate amount of rain tonight. And the verb, what's the verb? Moderate. Moderate. Notice the pronunciation different. The adjective moderate and the verb moderate. So, for example, for the verb moderate, when driving in the city, you need to moderate your speed. When driving in the city, you need to moderate your speed. And the adverb, what's the adverb? moderately, moderately. And the noun, the concept itself, moderation, moderation. And so what are the word forms once more? The noun moderation, the adverb moderately, the verb moderate, and the adjective moderate. Obsessive, obsessive. Adjective, thinking so much about something that you neglect things. Obsessive. Adjective, thinking so much about things that you neglect things. Well, I would disagree that you neglect things, but yes, obsessive means that you think a lot about something. For example, she became obsessive about Justin Bieber. My sister became obsessive about Justin Bieber. And what's the verb? Obsess. Obsess. For example, Abdullah was obsessed with Call of Duty. He never stopped playing. Abdullah was obsessed with Call of Duty. He never stopped playing. And the adverb? Obsessively. Obsessively. And the noun, the idea, the concept itself, an obsession. An obsession. So once more, what are the word forms? Yep, we have the adjective obsessive, the verb obsess, the adverb obsessively, and the noun an obsession. Randomly. Adverb, without any definite plan, aim, or pattern. Randomly. Adverb, without any definite plan, aim, or pattern. For example, these squares, these cubes, have random numbers. Or, randomly, pick a marble out of the hat and write it down. And what's the adjective? It's the adjective random. For example, he's a very random person. You never know what he will do. He's a very random person. You never know what he will do. And where does the concept itself come from? The noun, randomness. Randomness. And is there a verb for this one? For this word? Right, there is. Randomize. Randomize. And the adjective, randomized. Randomized. So once more, the word forms are randomly, adverb, the adjective random, the noun randomness, the verb randomize, and the adjective randomized. A reinforcement. Noun, the action or process of strengthening or replenishing something. Reinforcement. Noun, the action or process of strengthening or replenishing something. You should notice this word from one of the previous units. For example, in the military, they use the word reinforcement. For example, a small force of soldiers would hold the position until reinforcements arrive. A small force of soldiers would hold the position until reinforcements arrive, until more soldiers arrived. Are there any other word forms for this word? That's right, we have the verb itself, reinforce. Reinforce. For example, we need to reinforce the base of the building with concrete. We need to reinforce the base of the building with concrete. Relent. Verb, to finally agree to something after refusing. To give in. Relent. Verb, to finally agree to something after refusing. To give in. For example, she was going to refuse his request, but relented. She was going to refuse his request, but relented. And the adjective, relentless. Relentless. For example, be relentless. Never give up. Be relentless. Never give up. And the adverb, relentlessly. Relentlessly. So once more, the word forms are the adverb relentlessly, the adjective relentless, and the verb relent. Shed its image. Verb, to change, leaving behind a popular idea. Shed its image. Verb, to change, leaving behind a popular idea. For example, if you have a bad reputation, you should try to shed your image. If you have a bad reputation, you should try to shed your image. Another example, when companies get bad PR, they try to shed their image by doing good deeds. When companies get bad PR, they try to shed their bad image by doing good deeds. A strategy. Noun, a plan or method. A strategy. Noun, a plan or method. For example, what's your strategy for learning? What's your strategy? What's your plan or method for learning? And what is the adjective form? That's right, strategic. Strategic. For example, nuclear weapons are considered strategic weapons. Nuclear weapons are considered strategic weapons. And what's the adverb? Strategically. Strategically. And the verb? What's the verb? Strategize. Strategize. Once more, the word forms are the verb strategize, the adverb strategically, the adjective strategic, and the noun strategy. Substitute. Verb, to use something new or different used in place of something else. Substitute. Verb, to use something new or different used in place of something else. For example, you should substitute Pepsi for water for a healthy drink. You should substitute Pepsi for water for a healthy drink. Another example, I found someone to substitute for me. He's taking my spot. I found someone to substitute for me on the team. He's taking my spot. And is there a noun? Yes, there is. A substitute. A substitute. For example, soy milk is a substitute for dairy milk. Soy milk is a substitute for dairy milk. A temptation. Noun, a strong desire. Temptation. Noun, a strong desire. For example, resisting temptations make us stronger. Resisting temptations makes us stronger. What is the verb? Tempt. Tempt. For example, I was tempted to look at my watch, but I resisted. I was tempted to look at my watch, but I resisted. And the adjective, what's the adjective? There's two of them. Tempting, tempting, and tempted. The adverb, temptingly, temptingly. So again, the word forms are temptingly, the adjective tempting, the verb tempt, and the noun, a temptation. Temptation, sorry. Trigger. Verb, to make something happen. Trigger. Verb, to make something happen. For example, it's really easy to trigger some people. They are easily upset. The verb trigger. It's really easy to trigger some people. They are easily upset. And what is the noun? A trigger. A trigger. More commonly known as part of a gun, right? The part that you pull to fire a weapon. For example, don't shoot. Don't pull the trigger. Don't shoot. Don't pull the trigger. Are there adjectives? That's right. Triggering. Triggering. And also triggered. Triggered. So the adjectives are triggering and triggered, the noun, a trigger, and the verb, trigger. Twitching. Adjective, moving in sudden, quick ways that you might not be able to control. Twitching. Adjective, moving in sudden, quick ways that you might not be able to control. For example, his eyes are twitching. He can't control them. His eyes are twitching. And what is the verb form? Twitch. Twitch. For example, the dog twitched his ears. The dog twitched his ears. An urge. Noun, a strong need or impulse. An urge is a noun, and it's a strong need or impulse. For example, after watching this presentation, I hope you have an urge to use the vocabulary. After watching this presentation, I hope you have an urge to use the vocabulary. What's the verb? Urge. Urge. For example, I urge you to practice the vocabulary for this unit. Verb urge. I urge you to practice the vocabulary for this unit. And what's the adjective? Urgent. Urgent. For example, there's an urgent call for you at the office. Please go answer it. There's an urgent call at the office. please go answer it. And the adverb, urgently, urgently. So once more, the word forms are the adverb, urgently, the adjective urgent, the verb urge, and the noun, an urge. Wean someone away from something. To wean someone away from something. Verb, to gradually stop doing. For example, to quit smoking cigarettes, you should try to slowly wean yourself off them, not going cold turkey. To quit smoking cigarettes, you should try to slowly wean yourself off them, not going cold turkey. Withdrawal. Adjective, bad feelings when you stop doing something. Withdrawal, adjective, bad feelings when you stop doing something. For example, this man is having a withdrawal from his cell phone. In this picture, this man is experiencing withdrawal from his cell phone. Another example, suffering from insomnia means experiencing sleep withdrawal. Suffering from insomnia means experiencing sleep withdrawal. And what's the verb? Withdrawal. For example, I'm going to make a withdrawal. The noun, I'm going to make a withdrawal. Okay, and that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you found it useful for this unit, and I look forward to helping you out with the vocab in the next video. Thank you very much, and have a good day.